As UFO sightings continue to rise worldwide, skeptics are now turning into believers. Strange crafts of all shapes and sizes are being spotted globally, leaving witnesses dumbstruck and even terrified. The recent UFO sighting right over the United States Capitol not only shocked onlookers but also goes to show that the aliens are not afraid of showing themselves to us. From UFOs forming an infinity symbol over Russia, to an orb in Ibiza darting off at lightning speed, these crafts defy logic and every law of physics that we know of. Once thought to be limited to circular flying saucers, the UFOs now being recorded tend to challenge every preconceived notion. Could this mean that multiple alien species are visiting Earth? And if so, how can we distinguish between benevolent civilizations and those with harmful intent? For now, let's dive into 5 UFO sightings from around the world that will shock you to the core. Welcome to Lab 360, it's time to explore. Number 1, UFO seen over Pakistan. When you talk of UFO sightings that have happened over the continent of Asia, countries like Russia, China, and India take the top spot. Mostly because being the 3 biggest countries in the continent, they obviously cover large land masses, and hence the possibility of UFO sightings in these countries goes up considerably. But this particular sighting surprisingly took place in Pakistan, where UFOs have been showing up a lot in the last decade. This sighting took place high up in the sky on January 23, 2021. A team of commercial pilots were on a routine passenger flight from Lahore to Karachi, when they spotted a mysterious object outside their window. The pilots noticed a bright orb right in front of them, over the city of Rahim Yar Khan. On focusing the camera, you can clearly see a shiny metallic sphere. No commercial drone can fly at an altitude of about 40,000 feet, so this metallic sphere was definitely not man-made. This UFO very much resembles the multiple metallic spheres that have been spotted by other pilots. Like the sphere seen moving in a forward direction in Colombia, and also the one spotted by a US fighter pilot over the East Coast. The Pakistani pilots also stated that the orb was moving at the same speed as the aircraft, as though it was monitoring the plane.
It's moving.
Why are so many metallic spheres stalking commercial and military planes? Number 2, circular probe following a military aircraft. And just like the previous sighting, this one also involves an orb and an aircraft at a high altitude. The exact location of this sighting is not known, but this footage, like many other classified ones, was released to the public by the US government. This UFO sighting was captured by a forward-looking infrared camera belonging to the US military. Here we can clearly see what seems to be like a circular orb moving right behind a military plane. Initially the orb was right above the plane, but the plane realized it was being followed and hence accelerated, leaving the orb behind. But to everyone's surprise, the orb tries to catch up with the aircraft like it is locked onto it like a heat-seeking missile. The aircraft then does a complete U-turn to try and evade the probe. And it is only then that the UFO eventually lets go of the chase and moves away from the airplane. This spherical UFO closely resembles the one spotted over Puerto Rico in April 2013, near the Rafael Hernandez Airport. That UFO also moved swiftly, flying over the airport, roads, and commercial buildings before ultimately vanishing into the nearby ocean. A similar probe-like UFO was also seen over Mount Etna in Italy. Why are such probes closely monitoring military crafts and commercial and natural sites? Only time will tell. Number 3, UFO seen during total solar eclipse. A total solar eclipse is a very rare natural phenomenon, and hence it garners a lot of attention in the area where it can be observed. People gather in huge numbers in open areas, with special glasses to watch this rare celestial spectacle. But for this particular eclipse, someone else was also keeping a close watch along with the humans. The date and location of this sighting again has not been disclosed, but it occurred during the last total solar eclipse. People were looking up at the sky to get a glimpse of the rare event, when they noticed something abnormal moving in the sky. The eyewitness was pointing his camera towards the sky to record the eclipse, but he ended up capturing this shocking footage. You can clearly see a disc-shaped object zoom past from behind the clouds, like it was trying to hide from the humans below. This was definitely not a commercial plane or fighter jet, as they would have given a different shape. On pausing the footage, you can clearly see the elongated cigar shape of this UFO.
And accidentally recorded something whizzing behind the clouds. A few keen-eyed observers immediately noticed it, but it moved so fast they couldn't figure out what it was.
This disc-like UFO resembles the previous disc UFOs we have seen in the past, like the Baghdad Phantom of 2022, the UFO seen over a mountain in Russia, and also the stationary black disc seen over Florida in 2021. Is a total solar eclipse of some importance to the aliens, or did they mistime their flight, not knowing that the brightness would change momentarily, thus revealing their presence? Number 4. Blue Elongated LED UFO. Most of the UFOs seen are either in the shape of discs, metallic sphere-like probes, or triangular crafts. But this particular UFO sighting does not fit into any of the above three categories. This sighting took place in Scottsdale, Arizona. This UFO had an elongated shape and emitted bright blue light. In addition to the bright light, it also exhibited movement like it was alive. This sighting was also reported on the local news, with the reporter being totally dumbfounded on seeing it in the sky. This LED UFO was also spotted in Mesa and Phoenix City. There too, the person recording the video was left completely spellbound. A similar LED UFO was seen at another location, but here it had a weird cross-like formation. But this UFO too was giving off bright blue and green light and exhibited some movement. Were these the same UFOs? And if so, why were they moving like a living organism? Are these some kind of alien cyborgs sent to keep a watch on us? Number 5. Multiple bright UFOs seen flying in the sky. Seeing one UFO is enough to send a shiver down your spine. Now imagine seeing a fleet of UFOs moving right beside you. That is exactly the shock that an eyewitness had to go through on that fateful day. The exact location of this sighting too is unknown. Here we see a total of 9 bright UFOs moving in unison in the forward direction, without breaking their formation. Later they move apart and one of the 9 UFOs suddenly disappears into thin air. But they still continue moving in the forward direction, maintaining their new formation. What's interesting is that one of these UFOs was shining brighter than the others, giving an orange glow, like it was the command center for the remaining 8 UFOs. This looks very similar to the UFOs seen over the United States Capitol, where initially just 3 mysterious lights, then 4 could be seen hovering above the Statue of Freedom. And then suddenly out of nowhere, a bright orange light appeared on the right side, almost like a bright star, similar to the command center UFO in the 9 UFOs sighting. Why are so many UFOs moving about in plain sight without any fear of being spotted, not just by the general public, but even by the military? Have the aliens gotten more bold? Or is it about time that they will fearlessly present themselves to the governments of the superpowers around the world? But what do you think will happen when such a confrontation takes place? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. And be sure to subscribe to the channel for the latest revelations in space exploration. Hit the bell icon to stay updated, and let's continue to explore together.